caught me catching one last sip of coffee before we start. Welcome everyone to the Flowdreaming Money Flow Workshop. We have a really fun ride ahead this hour. We are not going to talk about budgeting. We aren't going to talk about how you save or spend or interest rates. It is not that kind of workshop at all. We're going to be talking about money and security and time freedom, all from the perspective of where the feelings behind it all originate inside us, where you are creating from. When you look at your financial life, what is the script that your life right now is reading financially inside of you? Because every single one of us has multiple patterns running, multiple beliefs running inside of us that are creating this external reality, creating all the things around us, including our sphere that has to do with money and material wealth and security. So welcome. My name is Summer McStravick, and I'm going to tell you a little tiny bit about me, just a little bit of my story before we go into the workshop. So while I'm prepping for that, I want you to be prepping right now. Grab a pen, grab paper. This is going to be very hands-on. It's not just me talking at you the whole time. I want you to be writing. I want you to be examining. I want some ahas, and I want you to feel that first fresh bloom of change start to come about. So get your pen, get your paper, and let's go. So as I mentioned, my name is Summer, and I've had a very interesting life. I suppose we've all had interesting lives, but I really have had an interesting life. Lots of ups, lots of downs. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I had regular middle-class parents. My experience with money growing up was my mom went through multiple divorces, and so we'd have booms of money and then absolutely nothing. There was a point in my life when I lived in a little tiny, I dare to say shack, a tiny little, add-on outbuilding, literally with a tin roof and chicken wire all around the outside. And I remember laying in bed as a teenager, and it would rain, and I would hear the water on the tin roof, and I just thought, is this normal? Is this what always happens after divorces? And I mean, do you lose everything? Is that what life is about? Is it really this hard to be struggling like this with a single parent? Is this what I'm set up for? And I don't know, maybe it was a time during then that I decided I was really going to live a different kind of life, have a different relationship with money and income. And how would I go about that? How would I create consistency? How would I create safety? How would I create stability in my own financial life when I wasn't being shown a model for stability in front of me? So this really kind of got me going. And scroll forward years and years, I go through school, I go through college. I end up working at a phenomenal company. It was called Hay House, or it is called Hay House. Some of you know it. Hay House is a multinational publishing company. And my job was to create programming, create all the audio content, create some of the very first webinars ever aired back in, what would it have been, 2005. I think I really couldn't even find models that I could copy at that point. We had to make the model. And having that experience, I got to be set up with Louise Hay, obviously my boss, Dr. Wayne Dyer, who mentored me and taught me for many years as we were on our radio show together. And I was blessed with an opportunity. Someone said, here's $1 million, go make me an amazing segment of my company. And so I did. I said, you know what? I don't have qualifications for this. It's not what I went to school for. Here I am. Life has gifted me this. How do I do this? And I went in and I built a multi-million-dollar segment of their company for them. What happened at that point inside of me is that I thought, okay, I know how to make money. I know how to generate money. I know how to grow money. I know how to, handle it. Yay for me. And then I was let go. And myself and many others were all let go in a kind of sweeping out. And I faced a real crisis in my life. Who am I? What am I? Was it me? Did I do a bad job? I did a fantastic job. This wasn't me. Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do without all those resources? Who am I? Who am I, again, in relation to money? I'm sharing this with you because I know you guys have had these experiences too. right? You have been through a divorce. You have been through a health crisis where you lost everything. You've been through a firing. You've been through a mid-career crisis where you said, I can't do this job anymore. I can't do it. It's just killing me. You've been there. And you've had to experience the same retooling of who you are. Will I continue to be safe? Will I continue to be secure? Will the things that I learned how to do in the beginning help me now? As it turns out, do you know where I went from there? I started Flowdreaming. I started the company that I have now, the company that's bringing you this workshop, that brings you all my podcasts, that brings you all the programs, that brings you Me School. I started this company and I had zero seed money. All I had was what I had saved in the bank myself all of these years. That's it. No investors, no equipment, no office place. It's just all from, in fact, look at this. I still don't. This is literally a room in my house and I've had to block it off because I have all kinds of other mess going on behind me in my office. This is all I had. And I said to myself, can I build another multi-million-dollar company? Maybe it's not the fact that I had Wayne and Louise and Doreen Virtue and all these wonderful people, you know, in this big company propping me up. Maybe there is something inside me that will allow me to create anything I want, whenever I want it, with whatever resources I'm gifted. Now, can you already see a parallel to the way I grew up? You have everything, you lose it. You have everything, you lose it. And I'm seeing this in real time, which is exactly the thing that I am trying to cure in my life. The only way to cure it, I realized, was to recreate my own success. Create the stability when I wanted the stability. Know that I could always recreate that stability, always recreate that money stream, always recreate that company or that business or whatever it is that you choose to do. And that is exactly what I did. And I grew Flowdreaming into its own multi-million-dollar company, right? We affect people all over the world. We've had thousands of students coming through Me School, coming through various other programs and classes. We hit 2 million in our podcast, actually, our 2 million downloads in our podcast recently. I share this because you can learn how to do this too. I'm not extraordinary. I've had some really great things and I've had some really bad things. Let me tell you one of those bad things that I just recently moved through. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015. I'm thankfully all clear now. But this is right in the middle of me recreating myself, rebuilding myself. I have a husband. I have 2 kids who are in grade school. What was I going to do? Fortunately, the things I'm about to show you in this workshop are going to help you when you are encountering all the things in your life, because you know that's part of what you're going to learn this hour. The things in your life will keep traveling through. You will still have people, you know, be mean to you or jobs not work out, or family members giving you trouble, or your own health coming up and challenging you. These are things in life that will generally continue to flow through. The question is, how are you going to be in them? Are you going to let them wipe you out, or are you going to let them build you up? Are they going to make you more secure or less secure? And there is a way that they can make you more secure. And that is what I'm going to show you today. Sorry, I'm wearing these earbuds so I can hear what's going on. So here we go. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. The very first thing I want you to understand about money is we have developed a relationship with it over life. I am going to, for the sake of this, personify money as if it were a person, as if it were, in fact, your hoochie-goochie loving partner, right? You're in a partnership with this energy. We're going to look at money as an energy, a kind of being that you have developed an exchange with over the years. You have all kinds of thoughts about this person. You have feelings about this person. You sometimes get mad at this person. You sometimes don't want to talk to this person. You sometimes love and desperately need this person, and you need more of this person in your life. Can you see how the way we relate to our income is kind of similar to the way we relate to people? So if you can put it in this context, everything else is going to make sense. Over the years, you were taught a certain way to behave with this person, certain expectations about this person. And if you're like most of us, who didn't grow up with really healthy money patterns being shown. And healthy money patterns meaning you are currently very stable and secure. You currently have a wonderful retirement fund going, or you're living this wonderful retirement, that you have this knowing inside yourself. You can always create recurrent streams of income, that when some stream of income leaves you, it's not a big deal because you know another one will be coming in. This is a healthy relationship with money that I'm describing. If you don't have that, here's what you might have learned instead. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and this is going to be our first exercise of the hour. This has to do with how you feel about money, right? How you relate to it, sort of on an ongoing, day-to-day, subconscious, conscious level. Your expectations about money in your life. And please, I know it can start to sound a little dismal, but this is so important because right now you're getting to see that the rich, dark earth that you're going to start planting the seeds in for the rest of the workshop. You have got to know what you're working with because we need to know how to amend the ground, right? I'm a gardener. So when I say amend the ground, like, do you put in some, fertilizer? Do you put in some, nitrates? Do you put on nutrients? What are you going to do? What needs to be fixed? Is it hard clay? Do we need to break it up? What are you starting with? So get your pen out, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions about your relationship to income, and I want you to answer them very honestly. This isn't a time to say, well, this is how I want to feel about money, or I try to feel this way. I want you to just get in there and say, no, this is how I really feel about cash. So first of all, when money is your partner, do you feel that, like any partner, any bad relationship, money often kind of avoids you? Disappears, in fact, for weeks or months at a time. You can't, you don't know where they are or what they're doing. You try to, get close and they're like, no. Does money treat you that way? Does it come and go? Right? We've all had relationships. We've all had friends, people that we care about who've done that. Is that what money, do you think, does to you? Is it a characteristic of your relationship? If so, write that down. Yes, money comes and goes. Do you hassle money? Do you complain about it? Do you always tell it, it's not enough. You're not enough for me. I need more. Where are you? I need more. Imagine if you did that to a partner all the time. If every day you had this ongoing sense of, you're never enough for me. I don't make enough of you. I don't get enough of you. How would your partner start to feel over time? Eye-opener. Do you expect money to come and go and not be loyal? Do you think money is going to go to whoever else is prettier, handsomer, smarter, stronger, leg up in the office, had more to start with? Do you think money is not really yours? That you're just always kind of pulling at it, pick me, choose me, pick me? Is that the relationship we've been in? Basically, what you're saying is money treats me pretty poorly. I'm always second best. I'm always second pick. You ask the other girl out, she says no, well, then you ask me. Do you have no trust in money? Like basic trust? Think about when you trust a partner. You trust that they'll be loyal to you. You trust they'll take care of you. You trust that they have your back. You trust that you can build a life together and they will be there and you guys see eye to eye and you're on the same page with each other. Do you trust that money has that relationship with you? It sees eye to eye with you. It's on the same page with you. Do you have a fundamental trust in your partner? Jot that down, yes or no. Here's one. Do you think that money corrupts you? Corrupts people? Do you think power corrupts? Do you think it's unspiritual to talk about money, to have money? Is it always kind of a little dirty, like that thing you have to deal with in life? But if you ask for too much of it, you're promptly going to fall over into this other category of people who are materially obsessed and not cool. Is that how you treat your partner? Like, they're kind of icky, but I have to deal with them. I really want them, but I also kind of despise them because they might corrupt me. They might. People who are like them are bad. Right? Can you feel that mixed energy that comes out of you, something you really want and need, but you rationalize to yourself why you can't and shouldn't because it'll make you bad? What's that doing in your relationship? And, kind of on the same path, will your family and friends not like you anymore if you start dating this partner, if you marry this partner, if you have money? Are your family and friends going to be, well, you know, you just changed and you're just not nice anymore and we don't relate to you anymore, and can you feel that gulf start to open up because you're now with this partner? You've got money. They don't have that relationship that you have. Does that make you feel a little nervous about having that relationship? Do you feel that you are truthful with your partner? This is now how you are relating to them. Are you truthful? Do you look at your partner and say, yes, this is how much we have. Yes, this is the debt we have. Yes, let's acknowledge it. Or do you push it away and say, no, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to see what that. I don't want to deal with that. You ever do that in a relationship about things? Like, no, we're not going to go into that. We're not going to, we're just that whole area is just something we don't talk about. You know, we just pretend that never happened. Do you do that with money? No, we're not going to talk about that debt. We're not going to talk about that credit card. We're not going to talk about the fact that I haven't looked for any other job in 4 years and I hate the one I'm in. We're just not going to talk about that. What kind of communication is that you have with your partner right now? Do you think that's improving your life? Last, do you ever feel that when you get money, it's never enough? So look back in your life at maybe your first job. What were you paid in your first job? Probably not very much, right? I had my first job when I was 15 and I actually cleaned timeshares. I was a cleaning lady. And I went and cleaned up, you know, after people moved out in the Sandy Beach, you know, timeshares, and didn't get paid very much, obviously. They were hiring a 15-year-old for a reason. So how about you? When you started to make more money, did you still carry that feeling behind you when you got a better job and a better job? It's still not enough. Isn't it funny? The more I make, the more my bills go up. The more I make, I'm still in debt. In fact, I expect it. What kind of relationship is that? Even when you are rewarded with more money and income in your life, it is never enough. You ever had a relationship like that where your partner's like, no matter how many times you say you love me, I still don't believe you. And I'm going to do something really crummy right now so I can just really feel that you believe me because you're going to have to forgive me and we're going to have to make up and cry and everything. And if I do that really awful thing and you still love me, maybe I'll believe you for a few more weeks, but then I'm going to go do that thing again that's going to like break us and wreck us because I need you to prove to me over and over again how much you love me, that you really do. Because there's something in me that fundamentally doesn't believe you do. Doesn't believe it. Do you have that relationship with money? Fundamentally, you don't believe you'll be safe with it. You don't believe you'll be secure with it. You don't believe it'll really be there for you. I told you. Okay, brutal part is over. This is about exposure. And if it felt kind of fast, you're right. It was totally fast because I don't want you here more than an hour. I know you've got a lot going on in your life. What I just shared with you are some of the most common patterns in relationships that I have seen with people over and over the last 13 years when it has to do with income and money in their life. I'm hoping that you looked at 2 or 3 or 4 of these and said, oh my God, that's me. That's what I've been running. No wonder my financial success looks like this. And that brings me to the next point. From my philosophy, from flow philosophy, what your exterior world looks like is perfectly mirrored from your interior world. It is exactly the opposite of what we're taught and what we think and know about the world, which is everything happens outside of you and you just react or respond to that. And that's what creates you and grows your character. Instead, it's more like, no, I am the thing that's eternally changing, growing, evolving, having experiences. I am this ever-changing, multifaceted, growing being. And my life is reflected off of me. I am a mirror. So what I've got going on outside me right now perfectly mirrors what's happening inside me. Which means that right now, if you look at a situation that you've got going on in your financial life, you can find the reason for it right here. It's in you. It's inside of you. So this is where people often go wrong. They go and they attack the thing outside of them. Well, I need a better job. Well, I need to get more money. Well, I need to pay off this debt. Well, and they want to do the material fix first. And sometimes they succeed and they do the material fix first. And then kind of funny, like they get back to that same place. You guys ever paid off your debt and 3 years later you're back into it again? You ever, got more money in a job and thought things were going great, and then the job just suddenly explodes and you have no job again? And you notice how that happens? It's like you fix it, but it doesn't really get fixed. It just happens again. And you say, why? Why does this keep happening to me? The internal fix has to be addressed. You fix it inside, then the outside world no longer mirrors that for you, no longer gives that same situation to you. That's what we do in flow dreaming. That's what we do in this philosophy that you're going to be learning, this hour with me. You fix it inside, the world can no longer mirror that for you because it can't match you. It doesn't reflect what's going on in here. You do not reflect your outside world. You do not reflect all the random garbage and other stuff that the world is always just pumping along. You are the genesis and the center for it. You are filled with power if you see it, if you discover it. So this brings me to the next point. First thing I wanted you guys to understand was how powerful this relationship with money is in your life and how it's dictating how you expect money to be. And you are the one who are making these expectations. You're the one who is creating this relationship. Money itself has zero power over you. You understand? It is not money. It's not that fistful of dollar bills or that bank account that is making you. Money has no power. You have all the power over money. It's you. You create it, you exchange with it, you go after it, or you shy away from it. It's all inside of you. This means you are extraordinarily powerful in the relationship. However, it's weird. We often somehow have switched things around and made money have all the power over us. And how does this happen? Happens in our thinking, happens in our flow, happens in our energy, happens in our soul. It gets that embedded. And here's what it looks like. How often do you say to yourself, I don't have the money to go see my kids, who are in college. I don't have the money for that vacation. I don't have the money to start a new business. I don't have the money to retire. I don't have the money to fill in whatever it is that you want to do. What don't you have the money for right now? What don't you have the money for? I bet you there's a list, right? It's also like saying, if I had the money, I would leave this marriage. If I had the money, I'd buy that new car. If I had the money, I would help my family. Right? Give my mom that money she needs. I would help. If I had the money, I would help the world more. But I can't. I don't have the money. When you're saying this, what you're really saying is, I really, really want, XYZ, but I don't have the money for it. And this means that money is the thing that is holding you hostage right now. You are saying, I don't have that, so I can't. Money has all the power. If you had it, then you could do all of these things. You could be all of these things. You could make all these changes. You could make all these shifts. Yet you're in this holding pattern, this stalled out pattern of, I can't because I need the money. This is where we often get caught for weeks, months, years, decades in our life. Because we keep saying, when the money changes, then I can change. When the money changes, then I can do these things. When the money changes, and after a while we say, it's kind of weird. The money's not really changing. Yeah, it's not. Because you got to take the power back. You've got the money. I encounter this with people all the time when they say, Summer, I want to join Me School. I want to get one of your programs, but I don't have the money. And I go, okay, great. Sit around waiting for the money because you're waiting for this partner to do or be something to you. And it's not going to change and do or be that way to you until you're different inside. It's going to just keep reflecting off the same thing, same thing, same thing. And you could go for years this way. You're expecting the world to treat you differently when you're not different, right? It's just like a relationship. If you're not different in the relationship, partner's probably not going to treat you differently. You guys had that experience where you suddenly are behaving differently. You're like standing up for yourself. You're creating healthy boundaries. You're speaking your truth. You're sharing. And it frees up your partner to change too. And they must respond to you differently. They can't keep responding to you the same way that they did because you're no longer playing that same game with them, right? That's it. That's where we're going with cash. Now, the good part, like the best part of this, is it's so much easier to change your relationship to money because it's not an actual person. You change, money instantly shifts. You don't have to worry about divorcing money, right? You don't have to worry about that confrontation or conflict with money. And all of us who are conflict shy, you don't have to worry. You just show up differently inside in your thinking about it. So I want you to do the next exercise. I have 10 pages of notes actually spread out in front of me. So if you see me looking to them, that's what I'm doing. Next exercise. I want you to write this down. Where do you expect not to get enough or not get your needs met? Just write it out like a sentence. This can mean I don't have the support. This can be business. This can be personal life. This can be whatever, right? Where do you expect not to get your needs met? Where do you expect life won't show up for you? Money won't give to you. Security won't be there for you. Where do you expect it? Write it down. This is just an ongoing expectation that you've built up over the years. Go ahead, write it down. Now, tell me why. Give me the reason why. Now we're moving into the second part of what I want to teach you guys about. The first was understanding the relationship. Now I want you to understand how you've given your power away in this relationship. Tell me why you can't make more money, have more security, be worth more, have a better job, pay down your debt. Give me the reasons currently in front of you. And these might be reasons like, I already work 2 jobs, or the universe has never given me the opportunities I need. I've always been passed over. Or I have kids to take care of. I can't go get a job. I'm too old. I'm too old. Nobody's going to hire me. I'm too expensive. I can't leave. Nobody pay me when I'm getting here. Oh, I need a degree for that. Can't do anything without a degree. I only have a couple $100 where I need money to make money and I don't have the money. I'm stuck. I'm just a dog chasing its tail. My health sucks. I'm tired all the time. I hurt all the time. Is that your reason? Write it down. Okay, you've got more than those. Those are just common ones. What we're looking at here are the rationales and the justifications that you have built up over time for why you are in the financial condition you're in. And I'm presuming that there's an aspect of financial condition that's not so great. Some of you watching are like, well, Summer, actually, I'm doing pretty well. I just want to do better. This applies to you guys too. You could do better, and it's showing you why you are still set at the level you're set. I mean, maybe you're already making 100, 200, 300, 400,000 a year. Maybe you're ready to go to that next level, but you can't because. You see, there is always a point in your income where you say, I can't because. And here is why. That's what you want to see right now. This is what I call a rationalization or a justification for your power leak, giving away your power. In fact, in me school, we spend months on this one area, figuring out all the ways we've given away our power so we can take it all back and become these enormously powerful co-creators. But right now, in just this one area, now I want you to feel for a second how, you can't see me, I've got my hand on my stomach. How powerful is this reason to you? How rock solid is this reason? Go ahead and feel it. You wrote it down. 1, 2, maybe even 3 reasons. How much do you really believe this? Why is this so? Why is this unchangeable? You feel that? That's the depth of your belief. This is what you are co-creating every day. Your want is over here. Your belief is over here. How do you think your want is ever going to get stronger than your belief? Unless you actively work to change that. Okay? So I want you to feel instead, well, actually, first of all, last thing I want you to write down, how long has this been going on for? How long has this money relationship been like this? Some of you guys are writing my whole entire life. Some of you are like, ever since my divorce, or ever since I lost that job, or pinpoint When did this latest set of money, relationship feelings, lack of security, lack of time, freedom, whatever it is, happen for you? When? Write it down. Write the year down, whatever. What you just written down or wrote down is the exact length of time that you have been staying in this old thinking, right? And it's probably a place of lack, because that's what we're really talking about. Some of you have heard me use these words before, lack thinking. I don't have enough. I won't get enough. I can't because. And here are my rock solid reasons why I have justified and explained this state to myself. Because remember, your mind loves to explain to you why things are the way they are. And it will scramble to come up with the very best reasons to give you. And it will make those reasons seem and feel very true. But that's a jail, because that jail says money has the power, not me. My boss has the power, not me. My ex has the power, not me. My lack of education has the power, not me. The world outside me has the power, not me. And you are giving away your extraordinary manifesting power. I mean, who here listening right now really truly believes and understands we are co-creating with the universe every day. We are creating and developing our life based on who we are and how we're showing up in it. Do you believe that? Hands up, because it's a yes or no question. You either believe it or you believe, no, life is random. We just have to respond to all the stuff that gets thrown at us, and some people respond better. That's an incredibly materialistic way of looking at the world. That says there is only the physical world, and all that non-physical stuff has zero bearing on things. But many of us have I don't know, I don't want to be judgy about this, but we have an expanded way of understanding of that. We believe that there is a physical world and there is a non-physical world. Just like everything else in our universe, there is a yin and a yang. There is a light and a dark. There is the positive and the negative, the male and the female. There's forward and there's backward, right? We live in a universe of duality, which means there is a physical and a non-physical. And those of you who say, well, I only react or respond to the world, that's living strictly in physical. In my world, I live in pre-action. I live in flow. I live in co-creation. I live in non-physical as much as I live in physical. So if I want to change the physical, the first thing I do is I change the non-physical. I go in and I create and I communicate. And I start restructuring all of this stuff that has been programmed in me. I do this emotionally, and that is where we're going next. I want you to feel, really feel right now. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, here we are. I want you to feel, how would having more cash flow in your life, less debt, throw in things like more time freedom, right? Because for some of us, material doesn't mean I just want a bunch of money and I want to live on a yacht and, drink martinis and sail all the day. We're not like that kind of, that's not what we want. You want your money so you can have a tiny house, you can live off the grid, and you don't have to worry, and you have all the time freedom in the world. Doesn't matter what you're going for, right? Money is the means to the end for you. So tell me right now, what would it be? How would having more cash flow change your life? How would having more cash flow, if your money issues were solved right now, how would that change your life? What would you now be able to have, be, or do if that was secure, if that was totally solved? What would you do? Feel that inside you? Notice how the feeling, as you write this down, there's a sense of relief there, huh? Feels so much lighter. You look back at the other stuff I was having you feel earlier. Thank you for staying with me, by the way. I did promise everything would go up, up, up. How would your life change? What would securing or solving your money issues change for you? Got that? I really want you to know that feeling. Then next, I want you to write down, how do you expect to get this? How do you expect this to happen? How do you expect your cash flow, your money, your debt reduction, your time freedom to come about? How do you see it happening? Okay, some of you are stuck on this question. And you're saying, that's the problem, Summer. I don't see how it's going to happen. I don't. I get that, right? That's why you're here on this workshop. Because everything you know so far hasn't gotten you there. If you actually did know that, this would all be solved already for you. You wouldn't be watching. You wouldn't be learning. You'd say, I already mastered that. That's perfectly normal and expected. That's why you're here. And that's why I'm hoping to introduce you to this idea that all of those physical things that you've done, material things that you've done to address this that have not worked. Remember all those budgets you've done? Remember all of those, spending plans you've done? Remember all this stuff you've tried and yet it hasn't yielded for you? What it means is that you need new knowledge now. You need new learning. You need to explore an area that you haven't yet explored. You need to do something you haven't done yet, because that is where you're going to find your shift, your change. You've got to open up to that. And that is very likely, I cannot promise you, but based on my working with thousands of students, very likely having to do with flow dreaming, having to do with this kind of emotional reconditioning that I'm about to teach you right now. Because you're shifting away from always trying to scramble and change things physically, get a new job, do this, blah, 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 to changing things internally, changing who you are, your expectations, changing that relationship, right? Change that relationship. So the first thing I want you guys to do is start to think about money differently. Money is a unit of exchange. That is all it is. And the value of that exchange changes every single day, right? That's what the stock market is. That's what inflation is. Nobody says a dollar is a dollar, a euro is a euro, a pound is a pound. There is no fixed exact amount. A dollar is sometimes this, a pound is sometimes that, a euro is sometimes this. It's always shifting. Isn't that kind of weird? The entire world is built on units of exchange that are never actually quite nailed down. How does that happen? Why? Because fundamentally we recognize that money is just a representation. That coin, that dollar, I wish I had a fistful right here I could just grab and show you. Actually, you know what I do? I keep a lucky $2 bill. My lucky two. Oops, it's backwards on the screen. Anyway, I keep this here because it's worth $2, or maybe it's worth $1.70, or maybe it's worth $4. And in another country, it might be worth 80 of their dollars. It's exchange. It's me. I have given to the world something, and the world has given something back to me. Just like in a relationship. I've given something to the relationship gives something back to me. If I want to improve that relationship, what do you think I could improve in me? My value, my worth, my ability to receive more from my exchange, my knowing that I'm worth more. And yet we pick up these patterns of, well, there's only so much to go around. Well, I'm not worth that much. I can't have that much, right? What was on that list of why you couldn't change? Why things couldn't be better for you? Well, I have news for you. There is $60 trillion estimated floating around on this planet right now. This is the amount of energy exchange. I do something, give to the world gives something back to me. Whether it's in the form of a day worked in a big office building, or teaching in a classroom, or loving and supporting someone. This is all me exchanging with the world. Some ways are paid, some ways are not paid. However, there's a fundamental element of exchange that is always going on. Right now, I'm exchanging with you. You're receiving something from me. You are, right? You're watching me, you're doing stuff. I'm receiving something from you. Every time I teach, I get greater clarity. I get greater understanding about who I am and what my purpose is. We have something going. Now, there might be money attached to this, or there might not be money attached to this. Free up your thinking about where money comes from and how money comes to you. Free up your thinking to realize $60 trillion. Now, yeah, some people have stockpiled this, and some people have a teensy little amount. Imagine that money was floating through the sky right now. And some people have these giant wells, like huge, and money just showering down. Like these are your major financial institutions. There's like an ocean-size, rainstorm of cash coming in for them. And then you have somebody in a poor, undeveloped country, and they have money coming in, and it's like the size of a little tiny straw. Yet, every single person has a connection to money, has a connection to security, because every single person, as long as you are alive and breathing, you are exchanging something. You are as fundamental as just, you being. You are exchanging something with the world. You have a conduit, an exchange conduit that is open. The question is, how open is yours? How healthy is yours? How much do you expect it to be filled? Where is your relationship? Where's your thinking? Let's make that bigger. So close your eyes right now. And I want you to feel this deep in. I want you to feel the exact opposite of lack. Okay, so when I close my eyes and go into this space, sometimes my eyes kind of flip around a little bit. I am moving into flow space. I won't teach you this right now because we don't have time in this workshop, but just go and start feeling this emotionally. Follow my imagery if you can. Imagine this $60 trillion. Wow. Do you see Earth from the vantage point of like Superman? Remember when he flies around the Earth? Imagine if instead of seeing clouds, you saw this coating of a golden light. And this golden light was the money, the energy of exchange. And everybody is throwing up into the light, into the air, up into the sky, all of their work, their thoughts, their feelings, themselves. And what's raining back down is how it's translated into other people. It's transformed into something that you draw out of the bank. You see that? You see how open and free that process is? Up it goes, down it comes, up it goes, down it comes. It is huge. It's an endless supply. It's as big as the oceans. Notice now, look around you, feel where you are. What kind of exchange do you have going? Can you feel that? Are you able to receive a lot? Is it not just a question of, I want a lot, I'm open to it, but do you believe you are getting it? You have done things worthy of it. It is there for you. It is in your life. You are already worthy of whatever you need or desire. You are willing to give of yourself and call back the amount that you need, that you know is for you. Not what money just decides to give you or someone else decides to give you. No, this is you. Your inner worth is way up here because what you give to the world is so extraordinary. Notice that feeling. You can open your eyes. Is that a strong feeling or did you have to struggle with it? When I said you have extraordinary worth, did you say, yeah, actually, I don't have many skills? This is all that relationship stuff coming up again. This can all be remodeled inside of you. Absolutely, completely emotionally remodeled. I call it emotional reconditioning. It is you going into your deep self, your flow self, your soul self, and starting to recognize money is my friend, income loves me, security loves me, I have time freedom, right? Isn't that why most of us probably like money, like security? Because we don't want to have to be giving our time to someone else until the rest of our days. And for us to say, no, my time is now my time, so I can spend it with my kids, so I can retire, so I can, whatever it may be, I want more freedom in my life. That's the exchange we're really asking for. And money is the way that we get there. But you need to know that you have earned that. You are valuable, that your partner is madly in love with you. And this is where we tie it together. And then we're going to do one final exercise, one technique to really get it deep inside you. But we tie it together because your money partner says, I love you. I adore you. I am always here for you. I want to be with you. I am giving you endless opportunities to have more of me. I show up for you every day. Every day I'm knocking at your door and saying, do you want more of me? Because I sure want to be with you. I want to show you off to the world. You ever had a partner who says, oh, wear that dress because you look so amazing in it. And I want to show you off to all my friends, right? And you're like, oh, imagine if that's money. I want to show you off to the world. The world needs to see more of you. The world needs more of this from you. I want to be that thing that gets you out there. I want to reward you continuously. You deserve it because I'm in love with you. What if you had that relationship? I'm not going anywhere. And if sometimes maybe one of the sources for me dries up, we're going to have that replaced. Of course we will. We just stopped aligning to that because I want to get you over here in this other thing. And you're saying to your partner, I trust you. Of course you're going to do that. Of course you're going to be taking care of me. And I am going to be taking care of you. Imagine if you had that feeling every day in your life. What would that do externally for you? It would absolutely fundamentally change every decision and action that flowed out of you. Right now, so many of your decisions and actions are coming from the place of lack. I can't, it won't. So I can't do that. I can't choose that. I can't have that. Because it's fear. It's self-protection. It's like, just stay inside and stay where you're at and don't let it get any worse. That's how a lot of us, excuse me, are moving through life. Don't let it get any worse. What if instead, money loves me? It's in love with me. It will always show up for me. Remember how I said I had to show myself that I could rebuild a company, that I could do this all on my own, that I got over that feeling of it has to happen for me. I have to be given it. I said, no, I don't. The wellspring of it all is in me. I built that first company, that first segment of that company, not because of the resources I was given, but because I had it in me. And then I went ahead and did the same thing 3 years later without any resources because it was in me. Because my relationship was fundamentally sound and I knew I would be supported in everything I do. If you have that feeling, you will take amazing and tremendous action and you will make new and different decisions that you can't even think of right now. They're not even in your horizon right now because you've got to feel that way first so those decisions and opportunities can start showing up for you. That's what I meant when I said all those things you've done until now. If they haven't worked, you're probably not in a great position. If they have worked, you're in a good position and want to go better. But fundamentally, you've got to do this new thing to get to this next new step. Here is the new thing that you need to do. For me, I have found the best way to emotionally recondition myself is through something I'll call flow dreaming, right? And we've kind of touched on it a little bit. I'm not going to explain the technique. I've explained it multiple times. You can listen to my podcast. You can go online to flowdreaming.com. I have a free kit there where I teach you for free how to do this, okay? For today's exercise, what I want to do is just guide you through the experience without giving you any background. I want you to daydream with me. Imagine, imagine you're daydreaming, except that instead of losing yourself in the daydream and forgetting where you are and like, oh yeah, coming back. You guys ever done that? I do it, unfortunately, too often. Like, where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. I finished all those dishes and I didn't even realize because I was someplace else. When you're daydreaming with me, when you're flow dreaming, it's like lucid dreaming at night, except you're aware in your daydream. You never lose where you are. Then you're going to experience what I call flow state. This is going to happen naturally for you. Again, I'll explain it more a different time. And finally, I want you to experience a deep emotion, strong emotion, real emotion. Here is the tricky part. Most of us are used to feeling emotions only in reaction to things that happen. We are given permission to feel certain ways based on something that occurs, right? If someone says, I love you, we go, oh, I love you back. And we feel so happy. If someone says, I hate you, we feel like, oh God, oh, I feel this terrible response. We've been conditioned in our lives to respond over and over and over and all the time. I want you to do the opposite. Don't respond, pre-spond. Don't react, pre-act. This means I'm going to give you permission to feel a certain emotional state and you have utterly no basis for feeling it. None at all. There is nothing that has happened in your life yet to trigger that in you. Remember how I said we need to work on the inside to make the outside change instead of working on the outside to make the inside change? This is where it starts. You create this emotion inside yourself. And then what do you think happens? The world creates the reason for you to have that emotion. You are turning the horse before the cart, essentially. This is the principle of flow dreaming. You feel it and become it. You change the mirror. The outside then changes to reflect this you. Instead of you reacting, that's not what co-creators do. That's not what manifestors do. We are already thinking, how do I want the world to show up for me? I create that here, and then everything else changes outside of you to reflect that. This is where the new opportunities start pouring in. This is where cash flow starts coming in. Whatever security you need starts coming in. So go ahead and close your eyes with me right now, and let's experience flow together. We're not going to go too long, and I'm going to dive you right in. Typically, I will give you a longer lead up to get into it. I'll help you relax more. I'll help you drift and disconnect. For the moment, I want you to take a deep breath and relax your body. Let your abdomen out. Notice where you're holding tension. Is it your shoulders? Let those drop. Go ahead and roll your neck. Go ahead and wiggle your jaw. Let your brow relax. No tension. You're in a daydream. You're daydreaming right now. Envision something. And if you're not good with visualization, use your other senses. Smell it. Feel it. Taste it. If you can't do that, just feel emotionally instead. Bring up a feeling state. You're walking down a forest pathway, a tropical forest. See how all the leaves are wet and shiny from the recent rain? Can you hear the birds as they hop from branch to branch, and they have beautiful bird calls trilling across the space? Do you see the flicker of those red feathers and bright yellow birds flying? Can you hear the sound of a gushing waterfall? A gushing, bubbling stream? Do you feel the packed earth beneath your feet, so ready and fertile? Do you notice this path you're on? You've been walking it. You didn't have to make this path. You didn't have to figure out where it was going. It's just there. It's going in a perfect and right direction. As you look backwards, you can see the path where you've been. It winds long and far into the horizon. This is you, your whole life, all of you, even outside of life, the greater you, the ancient you. You are in a flow of being, a flow of expansion. And this future self is starting to experience the path a little bit at a time. And you say, oh, there's a particular part of me I want to look at right now. I want to look at my money, my security. I want to look at the earthly material exchange that I came here to participate in. And I'm not going to hate it and say it's ugly and it's unspiritual. I came here to experience this, to actually have this in my life, to make it as a basis. I wanted to learn to master this. Because I want to master my self-worth. I want to master my self-love. I want to master my ability to receive and to give back. I want to master this exchange. Why else would I have come here? It's one of the big reasons. Or I could have just stayed non-physical. Never had to deal with this. Obviously, I came into a world where this is fundamental. Because it's going to show me where I'm powerful or where I've given my power away. And this is where I stop and reclaim my power. And as you say that, you stop in a clearing and you see this beautiful, gorgeous waterfall coming down. Look at that, beautiful, silvery, sparkly, golden greens and blues, and this shallow, gorgeous pool. These are your money falls, your money flow. This is where the exchange of the world meets you, where the physical meets the non-physical, where you say, I give of myself, I give of my time, I give of my body, my strength, my thoughts, my intellect, and I receive back. And it comes back into my life as opportunities, exchange. A sense of, ooh, I'm being gifted something even better. I'm being gifted more access. I'm being gifted more opportunity. I'm being gifted more influence. I can be more. I can show up more in the world because I'm being gifted back all of these things because I've earned it. I deserve it. I'm worth it. The more I have to work with, the more I can show up in the world and in a good and beautiful way. I can be a philanthropist. I can be at ease all the time, being a role model for my family and friends. I can walk through life with peace in my heart. Instead of always being angry or blaming other people or saying, you should have for me and you could have for me. I don't have those feelings anymore because I'm content and I am secure. And I look at other people and I feel empathy for them. I feel compassion for them. I say, you will fix this in your life too. Give it time. I have fixed it in mine. Look at me, watch me. And those are the ranks I join. Things are solved for me all the time. Money is in the bank. Cash flow is coming down. Constant, unending, secure, always. I go to my stream. I go to this beautiful pool and I scoop it up. I scoop up big netfuls of cash, of rubies and coins and dollars and emeralds and pearls. And I take it and I stuff it in the pockets of my skirts. I stuff it in the big sacks I have on my back. And I say, I have this all around me all the time. Flow is always giving me opportunities. Tomorrow, later today, next week, next month, flow, life will gift me and say, here, try this. Here, we want you to have this. Here's some more results of your contribution. Here they are. Here it is. And I keep waking up and saying, oh my gosh, thank you. Yes, I'll take that one. Yeah, I'll do that one too. Yeah, that one's amazing. Whoa, thank you. Really? Did I deserve this? Did I earn this? This is money I win. This is money I'm gifted. This is money I'm rewarded with. This is money I earn. This is money that I've exchanged something for. It flows in from all good sources. And everyone I say, thank you, because you know what I'm going to do with this money? You know what I'm going to do with this income? I'm going to turn around and I'm going to give it to someone else. I'm going to send it right back in the world. I'm going to pay down my debt. I'm going to pay off my mortgage. I'm going to pay off those school loans. I'm going to buy some things for myself. I'm going to buy food for my family. I'm going to get secure. That means I have to give this money back out again. I have to fully participate at total ease with no resistance in this constant ongoing exchange. Ongoing, no resistance. It comes in and it goes out and it builds up and around me so that I have a perfect sheen, a shimmer of security. Savings in the bank. More than I need, more than enough. I am a steward for money. Money, we have the best relationship. Thank you for believing in me. I adore you too. I love you too. Thank you for believing in me. And you hold that gratitude in your heart. Feel that right now. And then you notice that you're coming back, returning back from flow. And you open my eyes. Open your eyes. I get goofy. All right, come back. Something you may have noticed during this flow dream, you don't know how long it was. I think it was close to 10 minutes. Hopefully at some point you lost track of time, lost track of awareness, lost track of your body, and you were just somewhere else. Literally, your consciousness opened up, expanded, and connected into non-physical. That's a hallmark of it. You live outside of time and space. That's flow state. It's where extraordinary things happen. You can research flow state. It's where scientific breakthroughs occur. It's where people excel. They get to the top of their game, top of their form as golfers or whatever. You reach flow state. You are in the pinnacle of programming and communication between earth and non-earth, physical and non-physical. You are right there in the center ground where you start resculpting who you are. Now, listen, you did this one time. Once is enough to open the curtains and see the beautiful sunlight. But to really change, to really become a different person, to start your life on a new track, to rehabilitate the relationship, you have got to do it again and again and again. Because you know why? Because for the last 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, you have created one kind of relationship. Every day, you were hitting that relationship with the same feelings and the same expectations. Today, you said, oh, I can have a different kind of relationship. This is day one. So my question to you is, do you want to have day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5? Do you want to continue this relationship? Or do you want to say, I'm going to go back. We're just going to go back to where we were. This was great, but nah. Now, here's the thing. Your mind will say, I don't know if I can, Summer. I don't know. Listen, flow dreaming is so easy. That's all you do. What we just did. 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day is all it takes. And I've made it even easier for you. I have taken, for the first time ever, it took me 13 years actually to put this together. I put together a program. It's called Money Flow, and it is your next step. It is your way to keep this going. And, I hate to use the lingo that's out there, done for you, but it's done for you. You don't have to pull this or that, trying to figure out which flow dreams do I use, which positive thinking, which affirmations, and cobble together something you hope will work. I am giving you something that I have seen work, that has worked for me. This is what I have done to rehabilitate my life. And I already shared with you my success. I can share with you the successes of my students. There was the woman who won $1.6 million in her casino lottery after she began flow dreaming. There is the woman who is now, she was a yoga teacher. She now has a multi-six-figure $1,000 a year business. Actually, I have 2 of those people who are like that. There is the woman who had all of her student loans paid off. When she went back to school, for the first time after 20 years, she had $30,000 granted to her as a returning 40-year-old student at a top university. All of them, Summer, I began flow dreaming. I began doing this. This is what happened. These are real live testimonials and experiences. I could keep going on, but I won't. So what is Money Flow? What is this thing? It is a package, and I put it together. I actually beta tested it on my Me School class this year in the last couple of months just to see what would happen. Because I love to tinker with things and improve. Money Flow, in fact, I believe you can see, it should be up there right now. Are you viewing it? Yes, there it is. Right on the side, right? It says 30-day program, Money Flow. It is a beautiful combination of, and I have my little notes here, everything that's in it. I teach you 3 classes. Today was your first opening class, but I have 3 expanded classes where we delve deeper inside and you release and you heal. In fact, the very first class is called Money Detox. Isn't it kind of weird? We detox our bodies. Like, you've ever done a juice fast? You've ever done like a detox or a chakra clearing? Why don't you ever detox your money life, your relationship with cash? It's the most big fundamental thing you deal with every day. So I take you through a full money detox. Release the debt, release those old patterns, release all that junk inside of you. Money detox, class 1. Class 2, money healing. Okay, I've let it go. I want to heal, Summer. I don't want to go back to these old ways of feeling because my mind is going to slip me back. My mind is really powerful. It's been used to telling me all these years why I cannot have and why I'm stuck and why, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to listen to it anymore. Help me with that. We do that in money healing, healing your debt, healing all of these old patterns of bad relationship. And then the last class is money growth. What do we replace it with? Kind of like that floating we just did. I have a tremendous ability to receive. I am worth it. I am worthy. I am as worthy as anybody else. I am intelligent. I am creative. I should have everything I came here to experience in this life. Nothing is being held back from me. The universe is not withholding. If you believe that, if you believe the universe is withholding from you, you are living in a universe of scarcity, where you believe fundamentally that God or source is saying to you, you can't, I won't give it to you. Most of us believe God, source, flow, life is saying, oh, I'm giving to you. It's all here for you. Take of it, my child. Take of it. That's what we do in money growth. That's what gets healed. So these 3 classes become your core. Then you also get 3 flow dreams that I've never released before. One has to do with your job. One has to do with cash flow. One has to do with releasing debt and getting more money in the bank. All right. Flow dreams, sort of just like the one I just led you through. Although that one I just led you through on the fly according to my intuitive connection. Then I give you the Prosperity Challenge, which is a 2-week course where we go through and we look pattern by pattern. And every day I say, is this your pattern? Is this your pattern? Is this your pattern? And some days you're like, no, this is not my pattern. Other days, this is my pattern. We go through and we eliminate and remove them. It's based on the best-selling product in my shop, also called Prosperity Challenge. But the one in Money Flow is expanded. I have worksheets now for you. I have more that you do with it to exchange and get even more out of it. You also get my book, Flowdreaming, as an audiobook with practice MP3s. You get my quick start guide. You get a website devoted just for you where you can go and access all of your materials for 60 days. It is a 60-day program. You go in it, you do the work, and then it's done. So it's not something that goes on forever and ever, but 90% of the materials are downloadable, except for the 3 classes that I want you to move through. And you can go through those classes as many times as you want in those 60 days I have for you. Everything else you can put right on your phone, you can put right on your tablet, right on your computer, and you carry them with you and you use them every day until you have developed a new relationship with cash flow. And when you have done that, you're ready to go on to the next step and start building even more in your life, rehabilitating your relationships, rehabilitating your career. I mean, for many of us, solving this is number 1, and then we start to solve everything else, start shifting and growing for us. Anyway, there's even more Facebook community, on and on. And just because you guys are here and you've been in class with me, I am going to be offering you a extraordinary discount on Money Flow. It is seriously like the cut to the bone amount I could offer this for. So if you go and you check it out, I think I have it set for 48 hours. And the reason that I have this kind of urgency before the price goes up is I know what will happen for some of you. You're going to say, oh, I feel so inspired. I feel so great, but I better think about it and I better hold back and I better wait because I've been taught this is a good thing to do. And yes, sometimes this is a good thing to do. I'm not going to negate that at all, especially if you generally are impulsive and so forth. However, for many of you, what happens instead is your mind says, oh, it's not going to work. Give me 24 hours to talk you out of it. Oh, we don't trust you. Oh, you failed in the past. Oh, why would you think this will work when nothing else has? Your mind will try to pull you back to all the rationalizations and justifications to keep your relationship just the same. You guys know this happens. This is why in our own personal, interpersonal relationships with our loved ones, it's often so hard to change because our mind says, don't rock the boat. I know it sucks, but don't. It's not going to work out. Your mind is going to draw you right back into lack thinking, and it will try to talk you out of it. And the longer and more time goes by, the more your mind says, okay, see, we're going right back to where we were. Yeah, that was a nice, fun thing, but yeah, we're not really going to change because we expect the world to be this way and we anticipate the world to be this way. And we want you working yourself to the bone and we want you insecure and we want you not getting your value worth. And we'll let you know when something comes along that will help you not be that way. But you ask yourself, when is that thing coming along? In my experience, flow and life and the universe is always offering you your next step. It's floating by on this conveyor belt continuously. And we say no to things more often than we say yes to things. No, I don't want my next step. No, I don't want my next step. No, I don't want my next step. I live in an abundant universe. In that abundant universe, the universe is constantly saying, oh, she said no. Queue up the next opportunity. She said no. Queue up the next opportunity. I have lost years of my life because the opportunities kept floating past me and I said, no, 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 I can't. No, I can't. And one day I learned the more I say yes, the more I say, I'll risk that. I'll try that. I'll do that. The more my flow gets to offer to me. The more yeses I have, the more growth I can experience. The more no's I say, the more the flow has to just keep offering me the same darn next step over and over until I take it. So I'm trying to make it very inexpensive for you guys to start on this journey. And I picked money and security as a way for you to start because I know for so many of us, it is so fundamental. So please go right now, check out Money Flow, pick it up at this extraordinary price. If you have questions, I am here. My staff is here. You can actually book a time with my director of happiness, and she will take your call and answer any questions you have about it, or just go ahead and get it, grab it. I made it easy for you, 1 payment or 2 payments, and then you will get a concierge call. We will reach out. This isn't something where you just get something online and bye-bye, we never see you again. This is not how I operate. You'll receive a call, and we will help you. We will walk you through it. There's a quick start guide. And I say, do this first, do this second, do this third, do this fourth, do this fifth. And you just do it in order right down the line. You don't even have to think about it. You just have to get into the feeling state, and you have to commit to it and say, this is the very first day that my relationship is going to change. It's going to change. Starting now, right now. And it will. So my love to you all. Please go check that out. Please stay with me and keep flow dreaming and grow this in your life. You are an extraordinary co-creator. I have seen this work for everyone. I have seen this work for just so many people. And I believe it can work for you. You need to believe it can work for you too, because you're capable. It's what you came here for. You came here to learn this. All right. So bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope to continue to see you in the world of flow dreaming. Bye.